Welcome to the Comic Wrestling Podcast. This is the Comic Shop. I'm the host, as always, Ace Williams, with my buddy
Deadly Dave
and our returning friend
Markadius.
Well, today on the Comic Shop, we got a whole bunch of shit to talk about. But first, Markadius and myself went down to the local brewery, Argyle Brewery Shop, and we gave them a flyer. We're kind of getting the name out there. The guy was glad to take it.
Nice.
I was wearing their shirt that I bought quite some time ago. This is one of their delicious little ales. It's called the Rough and Ready. I'm going to be drinking that here in a little bit. This one's a cute little blonde. It's a silly name. It just makes me sound... Give me that cute little blonde, would you? So there's just like a free advertisement for these guys, and they're going to advertise us in their little store, so I just thought that was kind of cool. Today we're going to talk about, Markadius mentioned it, which it was just not going to go unnoticed, the Spider-Man news that's been happening. D23, Disney's like pretty much Comic-Con, their big expo is this weekend, so I got a bunch of stuff written down there of like what's coming and what might be going. But before we do all that, I went to Boston Comic-Con this past weekend. It was pretty good. I had a good time. We'll just leave it at that. I met John, I want to say John Favreau every time. John DiMaggio, who was Bender, Marcus Phoenix, and like a slew of other characters and cartoons and video games and stuff like that. I don't know if anybody can see this, but this is the banner I got signed. You can't see his autograph, but it's right there. It says, "Time to drop the hammer, John DiMaggio, Marcus Phoenix." Made a joke about me touching his penis, which was kind of funny in the moment.
You seem to get those kind of jokes a lot when you go meet people.
What do you mean?
Like Jim Cornette was kind of hitting on you. Tony Atlas hits on you.
That's true. They did hit on me. This is true. Hey, what can I say? I'm a good-looking guy, you know? Boston Comic-Con, it was a lot of fun. Mark, one of your favorite celebrities was there. Go Power Rangers. JDF. What do you think of him? You like him?
Oh yeah, hell yeah.
I think he's kind of a douchebag. But that's my opinion.
I'm a White Ranger fan, not a Green Ranger fan.
Green Ranger all day. When he's the bad guy, that's cool, man.
Yeah,
that's cool.
See, I remember White Ranger more though.
Yeah, but the Green Ranger was like the introduction.
Yeah.
Because whatever, Rita turned him evil. It was
He
cool.
had the flute though when he was a Green Ranger, right? Wasn't that his weapon?
No, the flute he had, I believe, when he was a White Ranger.
No, that was a talking sword, right? Had a tiger on it.
Let's move past that, because I don't know anymore. Pink Ranger was hot, though. That's all I remember. Met Corey Feldman.
Awesome.
Which
so
I met
awesome.
him for Dave, which brings us to this part of the episode of the gift giving.
Giveaway.
I love gifts.
Well, since you showed that you love gifts, you are going to go second. Markadius, this was a shirt that I got you, buddy. You can open that up. You can open that up and show the world.
Thank you.
Now, the story on this shirt.
Oh. Ooh,
The story of this shirt was, unless you were a VIP member, which I was only a premium, you could not buy this shirt. So the very last day of the con, they had a bunch of them in a box, and I took one because they said you can. So I took one. They didn't have any in my size, which I didn't really care, but I grabbed you that one. I don't have it here with me, but I did buy a Boston Comic-Con shirt myself, which again, they would not sell me at first because it said VIP on it, and here I am, a premium fucking player. So at the last day of the con, they said, if you buy something at our booth, you can pick any shirt you want for free. Well, that's a $25 shirt that I'm going to get for free then. So I bought myself a comic book, and I got the shirt, and it's all black shirt, it says VIP on the arm, and it says, or it doesn't say anything other than Boston Fan Expo 2019, but it's in the shape of the Goonies, not logo, but one of the pieces of treasure that they use.
Oh yeah, one of the doubloons.
Yeah, it's in the shape of that. So I was like, all right, that's kind of cool and pretty sweet. So I did get that. The comic I bought, we'll get to it in a minute. Oh, Dave, your gift. How silly. There it is, signed and autographed. Oh shit, no it's not. There it is, signed and
That's
autographed.
fucking awesome.
It says to Dave, peace or pizza,
I like that.
Corey
a
Feldman,
lot.
with a little peace sign in it in 19. So there you go.
Thank you so much.
There is your Sandman-esque Donatello Corey Feldman autograph.
That totally completes it.
It looks great in purple.
Yeah.
Because as soon as I told him, I'm like, oh, he's a big fan of you. He loves the purple Ninja Turtle.
He went for the purple.
He
shirt.
went right for the. He had a mountain of Sharpies next to him.
Oh,
and he's
I bet.
literally. Where's that purple one, man? Which, I mean, it was kind of cool. Meeting John DiMaggio was cool. Meeting Corey Feldman was an absolute honor because it's Corey fucking Feldman.
Well,
I
thank
mean,
you very much. I'd love that.
Of course. I mean,
That's huge.
I wish I could have got the other one autographed, but the prices were just ridiculous. I didn't meet any other celebrities. I did see all the people from Boy Meets World. Zachary Levi I saw. Rob Schneider was there. Sean Astin was there. Data was there. But he just... No offense to Data, but he just looks like the typical Asian person. And it's only because you don't see him in anything else other than Indiana Jones.
Short
and that.
round.
Short round, right.
Yep.
There was a guy that showed up dressed as Indiana Jones, and Short Round, I'll call him that, saw him and instantly went into Short Round character.
Oh,
like, Dr.
cool.
Jones, Dr. Jones, I didn't know you'd be here.
Oh my god.
I'll probably get hate mail for being a white
Yup.
Asian now. You know, you can't do that stuff. But to hell with it.
I love it.
It was kind of cool. It was pretty sweet. There was a giant Hulkbuster cosplay suit there that was like life-size Hulkbuster. It just was huge. There was a Bumblebee. There was tons of stuff. I was playing around with $300 lightsabers. Like, it just... That kind of stuff was fun. There were little hiccups along the road, but other than that, it was really good. And our hotel was amazing. They couldn't accommodate the room we originally got, so they said, we're going to bump you guys up to the suites.
That's awesome.
What was that?
What was I saying? It was an extra $150 a night, though, for it, so it turned out to be like a $1,300 room, which, whatever. Literally, we're in the hotel, or in the suite, the room, and the window was probably, just the window was an entire wall. And we're just looking out. We're 13 floors up, looking out at the beautiful city of Boston, and it just was, you saw the pictures I showed you, it was just awesome. Like I told Mark, there was a time where there was 3 of us sitting in these chairs, and we had a few alcoholic beverages, as one would.
Yep.
And I'm sitting there, and I stand up, and I just say, tonight, boys, tonight's the night we take this city and make it our own. Because you felt like that. When you're sitting there looking at the city, you felt like the kingpin. You felt like the guy that was like, all right, I can send this guy over here and kill that guy. You know, I mean, maybe that's
Just
extreme.
have guys lined up to do that.
Right, hey you, get in the room. Like, you know, they had to stay out in the hallway, which they didn't charge them for that, so that was nice. But the hotel was amazing. There was like 3 or 4 bars. Of course, I went to every one of them. I told Mark I spent some money each night at the bar because I didn't buy almost jack shit at the con, so I had extra money to kind of spend on myself. Left my number on a receipt to a barista. My buddy did. He thought it'd be funny. I told him, I'm not going to get a call back. That never happens to me, especially in Boston. Get up to the hotel room, I get a call back.
Oh.
On the voice, it went right to, like, not right to voicemail, but I didn't hear my phone going off, so she left a voicemail. So I'm sitting there all eager beaver-esque, right? I'm like, guys, gather around. I've got a voicemail from a girl. So I'm holding my phone like this, and we're listening to it. And the very first thing and the only things she says are, it would have been more impressive if you left a tip. Well, how do you do? As I told Markadius, you get the tip when I come back. You play it off like, oh, that's so nice of you. You left your number. I'm working again today. You guys want to come back and have more drinks? And then you get a double tip. You get a double tip now because it's just the way it works. So I did get a call back. It just wasn't
what you want.
It wasn't what I wanted. That pretty much wraps it up for Boston Comic Con. I mean, like I said, there were I could go all day just telling the silly stories, but none of them are really Boston Comic Con related. And some of them might get me put behind bars. So we're not going to go there. But I was Hulk Hogan, and it was awesome. So many people were coming up to me and being like, "Yo, can I get a picture with you, Hogan?" And I'm like, "Of course, dudes and brothers and
That
sisters."
had to be heaven for you.
It was a lot
do
of
that
fun.
kind of shit.
I have a video. If I can get it off my better phone and get it to you somehow, and we can upload it, and it can be on our Comic Wrestling Podcast page. It's great. You saw it. It was only like 10 seconds, but it was fucking funny. It was a lot of fun to be dressed up as Hogan because a lot of other people were just there in like shirts of themed stuff where it was like, no, dress up. This is a themed party that you had to pay money to get into. Make it worth it. And I mean, there were, like I said, there was the Pokemon chick who she literally was wearing like a yellow leather jacket, like a black skirt. She had a big yellow tail coming off of her jacket with like these neon fucking lights going all through it and stuff. Like big yellow pigtails, and on each end of the pigtails it was like dyed brown.
Damn.
Like his tail almost. She was totally into it, and I was like, yeah, I'm gonna fuck that later. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. I'm kidding.
He might have thought it, but
I'm not kidding. But other than that, yeah, it was. I probably think of something like, oh, I should have said that on the show. God damn it. But nothing crazy. Like they don't do reveals of like new movies, and this is just fan con where you go and you meet celebrities. Pretty much, it's not. We reveal movies, reveal whatever, this, and that. So that was Boston Comic Con. It was kind of fun. On to, pretty much, I'm going to rename this kind of moment, What to Watch, because I seem to always kind of throw something in there, like what I'm watching now, or what's out there, what's new. What I just recently watched was The Boys, which is, I guess, based off a comic book. I've never read them, so I didn't know any of these characters going into it. They are essentially the Dark Justice League. Like, the main guy is an evil Superman, essentially. There is an Aquaman character. There's a Wonder Woman character. The show is not as great as, like, the world is making it seem to be. Like, when I'm on YouTube and I'm seeing all the reviewers I watch, and they're like, "Dude, the reasons you must watch this show." There's a few. Haley Joel Osment's in it. I thought that was kind of cool. Like, his fat little self. Like, I don't see dead people. I see diabetes. Like, that should be his catchphrase, because he's a short, fat little fella. But he's so damn adorable.
He is.
He's like, in a weird way.
Does he have a beard?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. He's a helpless schmuck. But, Mark, what's his claim to fame for you?
Sora, Kingdom Hearts.
Kingdom Hearts. What did I say to you when I said...
I saw Sora.
Sora was in it!
And I'm like, what? Like
And-
a real version?
And then I said to him, I was like, yeah, he's fat. The only thing Sora about him are his knees.
Yeah, that was good.
I thought that was funny.
Sora.
Send your hate mail. I don't care. I just started watching Penny Dreadful, which I told you about. Really weird show.
Yeah.
It's like goth, creepy 18th century. Like Van Helsing's in it. Dr. Frankenstein's in it. There's Dracula in it. There's wolf people in it. I'm only into the first season. It's kind of interesting. It's weird. A lot of sex. Just, if you like that stuff, it's in there for you. And to bring it all around, the only other thing that's out, new, and released and hot to trot is Endgame. Just came out last Tuesday. That's Avengers Endgame.
if you don't know by now what the fuck we're talking about,
Then get the fuck off of this channel! Just kidding. You can stay. But just put on earmuffs and stuff, because I don't want you to hear us talk. It was really cool. Just one quick cool thing about Endgame, because there's tons of shit. We did a review on it. We probably will talk about it again in the future. When all the heroes are coming back, I'm like, who's in the background? I didn't see before, right?
Same.
I didn't see anybody that I didn't see, except for one person. But before I get there, I did tell you there is a scene where you see Spider-Man swinging off of Ant-Man,
Yeah.
a giant man. You literally see the webbing attached to his hip. You see it attached to his hand. There's a scene where you see him, because people keep saying, like, oh, how's Spider-Man swinging? The flying characters, there's a scene where they show an overarching view of it all, and you see him swinging off of the Falcon.
Wow.
So, I mean, it's there. It's just you got to have that illusion of disbelief. But when they show all the heroes coming through the portal, they show the Wasp. They show a tiny little portal open up. And the Wasp comes flying through it. And in a quick panning of the camera, you quickly see Howard the Duck.
Oh my god, it's
That's
so quick.
fucking cool.
Right? I mean, how cool is it to think how... And he's standing there holding a giant rifle.
Yeah.
I didn't notice that at all.
I'm like, alright, Howard the Duck's in this
It's
party.
literally like this, Dave.
I'll have to check it.
Don't do that.
Oh, shit.
That's not...
Sorry, guys.
Son of my bitch. No. It is. It was cool. Have you seen it? Did you see him in it?
Yeah.
You did see him?
Yeah,
you
it was
noticed him?
hard as hell to see
Isn't
him.
that cool as
It
shit,
was
though?
awesome.
And he is. He's standing there with just a giant rifle,
Yep.
and it just whoop, goes right away.
It would have been cool to see him and Rocket interact.
It would have been. That would have been really cool. Like, a talking duck? What are you supposed to be, a raccoon? Oh, I don't know what that is. You know, something so stupid like that. Other than that, that's really all I've watched. And Endgame is just epic. It's epic, which will transition us right into the Spider-Man news. As the world is in awe, there, as of right now, it might change tomorrow, it might change in 2 seconds, but as of right now, there is no more Tom Holland Spider-Man in the MCU, in the Disney movies. I got a little rundown of like what kind of happened. I know there was at the D23 there was Tom Holland was there. We were going to watch the video of it. It didn't matter. I looked into it. And I'm going to read his quote that he says to everybody before he walks off stage.
Okay.
Get your box of tissues out. Hey everyone, it's been a crazy week, but I want all of you to know from the bottom of my heart that I love you, 3000. That sucks to hear that because he was such a pivotal character in 5 of these MCU movies, and I'll get to my final opinion after we kind of do the rundown of what has happened or what's to come. I don't like to read word for word what I have written, so I'm going to paraphrase it if I can without reading it all. Sony owns the Spider-Man character in the movie aspects, not in comic books, not in cartoons, not in video games. Yes, they have the Sony rights to PlayStation games.
Yeah.
But they don't own that character,
Property,
right?
yeah.
They don't own the property, right? I have it written here, so I have to read it this way. The Wall Crawler was on loan to Marvel and Disney in their deal. I don't know what the hell the money situation was. I don't know what they did, but they've made 5 movies in the MCU with Spider-Man, Tom Holland in 5 of them. The first one was in 2016 with Captain America: Civil War. The next one was in 2017, his solo movie, Spider-Man Homecoming, which was amazing. I still love it. Then there was the 2 I could just get my shit together. Then there was the 2 back-to-back Avenger movies, Infinity War, Endgame, where he was in both of them, obviously. That's why I would say that. And then he was in Spider-Man Far From Home, his second solo movie, which still is not considered part of any of the phases. Like, Endgame was to end Phase 3. They are now saying Black Widow is to start Phase 4. So where does that leave Far From Home in the middle there? Does that now, since Tom Holland isn't going to be in the MCU, does that movie just completely get dusted away as it was nothing? Which would disappoint so many people.
Yeah.
So many people.
Especially since you continued the story in it.
With Tony Stark in it. You made it such a big to-do. That ending, the reveal of Spider-Man as Peter Parker.
Yes.
Yep.
You can't just deny that movie now. Like,
No.
you have to fulfill some part of obligation to give me something on top of that. This was the first Spider-Man movie. Far From Home was the very first Spider-Man movie out of 7, the original 3 and then the 2 and then his 2 solo ones, to ever reach $1 billion. $1,011,000. Like,
Damn.
that's pretty impressive.
Yeah.
It is Sony, not just within Spider-Man, but it is Sony's highest grossing movie of all time. Is Spider-Man Far From Home. They've never...
That's saying a lot of how many movies they put out.
It really is. It's saying tons. It's saying tons. So with that notion now being out there, with it making $1 billion, from the information I've received off the internets and all this good shit, Disney was only receiving a 5% income, I guess you'd call it that, off of all the solo Spider-Man movies. They're only getting a 5% paycheck. Oh, excuse me, off of that. Which, hey, whatever. I guess if that was your original negotiation, whatever works for you, I guess. I don't really know all the details of their negotiation of why it fell through, but from what I've seen and what I've heard, Disney realized how much money Far From Home was making. They were trying to renegotiate a new deal and said, hey, and this is where it gets kind of blurry. There's two theories out there or whatever of they were asking for 50-50 on grossing rights, while Marvel was the one that was promoting it. They're the ones that are distributing it. Well, Sony's kind of distributing it too. But like they're doing all the advertisements for it. They're doing the publicity for it. Kevin Feige is a like sole producer on the Spider-Man solo movies. So there's a lot riding on this.
Yeah.
A lot to do with it. And then there's also the notion that people have said it was only a 30%. They only want a 30% cut. Which, okay, that seems pretty fair. I mean, when you think about it, you could say Sony's the villain or Marvel's the villain for being too greedy, but I look at it as, without Disney, your Spider-Man universe was nothing.
No.
Yeah, how many times have you had to reboot it, you know?
Twice.
Yeah.
But then you had to do it a third time. Well, you've rebooted it twice because you had your first Spider-Mans and then these. But your second reboot is the one that's making you $1 billion, Sony.
Yep.
So I don't really know like the fine details in there, but from what it was, Sony said no to this deal and completely pulled Spider-Man from the MCU. Now, more detail on that is Marvel is the one that casted Tom Holland to be Spider-Man, not Sony. So I don't know how that works, if he can go be Spider-Man for Sony under a Marvel I don't know that stuff. I guess there's like a tug of war right now for the director. Sony wants him again, but Marvel's trying to take him back. It's a whole lot of hoopla.
It's
and
petty bullshit.
It really is.
Yeah.
It really is, and it's a total disservice to the fans.
Mm-hmm.
I get it. I get, that movie just made $1 billion, and the future movies are going to do that as well, essentially. So you want to be a cash cow. You want to get in on that. I get it. I'm not going to hate on that. Money is king. Money is everything in the world.
Yep.
And because of all this bullshit, their former deal is now off the table completely. Tom Holland did say, I have the quotes here, but I'm not going to read them out. Tom Holland did say he is going to continue playing Spider-Man, but that was it. There's no, I'm going to be Spider-Man in Sony, since I can't be Spider-Man in Marvel. And a lot of people have made the joke, you just cast Tom Holland as Night Monkey.
Yeah.
From Far From Home. Just call it Night Monkey, and essentially let him be Spider-Man. I would fucking hate that. If there's ever a movie in a superhero franchise and they call it Night Monkey, I'm out. I'm out. That is some straight up DC dumb shit right there.
You're like stooping low.
You're grasping at straws with that. Let's just cut our losses and just say that's all we were allowed to do with Spider-Man.
And let Sony burn with it, you know what I mean?
Well, that's the other thing, though. Would Sony burn with it? Because are they going to now incorporate a live action? Because now Sony's got to catch up to their own mistakes. Because this was a huge mistake on Sony's part, in my opinion, and I even said it on one of our last podcasts. If Sony does a solo Spider-Man movie, I won't watch it, and I won't. I'll still stand by that right now. I won't watch it. Because you're recreating the same character, but to fit a universe he's never belonged into. And by that, I mean, if they do a live action Into the Spider-Verse, I'm not going to give a shit, even if Tobey Maguire's in it, because I know there's no big end scale to it. That's as big as it's going to get right there. You're never going to see the Tobey Maguire Spider-Man essentially swinging webs in maybe an MCU moment.
Yeah. It's
dead before it gets going. But then there's also the really cool idea of, which, you know what, I gotta jump into it because I forgot to. But since we're talking about Spider-Man, but then there's the cool idea of like the Venom sequel, possibly having Spider-Man in it now, which would be really awesome. And that I have to segue into this because I forgot to do what I bought, the comic book. This is what I bought at Comic-Con. Well, I'll show it at the end. This right here is why it would be really cool to see Spider-Man in the Venom movies, because this is right here. These 3 comics are the very first 3 issues of Carnage. And they have Spider-Man involved in them. Like, Spider-Man and Venom have to team up to defeat Carnage and lock away Cletus Cassidy. So that would just be really cool to actually be able to see that now.
Yeah.
But on the other hand, I'm losing so much more of an investment with Tom Holland being in the MCU just to gain something that would be a cool idea, and you don't even know if they're going to do that. That's the very... I love this. I got to go right into this. This is the very first issue ever of Carnage in his first solo run. This, Maximum Carnage, it's a 14-issue series. I have like 6 out of 14 of them. This is Carnage's second appearance ever in a comic book, besides like 1, 2, and 3. Like I said, here's all the ones I got. The cool thing is there is now where this is just called Carnage, this one is Maximum Carnage, and this is the newest one that's out. There's only 2 issues of these, and this is the very first one that I bought. Absolute Carnage.
Nice.
So to have all 3 of his number 1s, I am just a fan of that. I think that's amazing, but this comic is absolutely brilliant. This takes the Carnage we all love and know, his first ever meeting with Venom, but they know of each other. Venom has to recruit Spider-Man to help him stop him, because what Carnage is doing in this comic is he is tapping into every character that has ever worn a symbiote and going through and turning them into his puppets, essentially. It is graphic. Like, Carnage looks... he does not look a thing like this in the comic. He looks like a demonic 10-foot-tall skeleton with the symbiote wrapped around it. It's like you see his spine when the symbiote comes off his face, and you see Cletus Cassidy's face underneath. He is completely... There's no human side to it anymore. He is completely engulfed into this symbiote. Like, his eye is all like sunk in. The skin around his lips is completely gone. Like, you just see his gums and his teeth. He's just consumed by Carnage, opposed to where like Venom and Eddie Brock coexist.
Yeah.
They need each other to live. Where Carnage is just, I need a host, and you're stupid enough to let me consume you. It is amazing. The last image in this comic book is so cool. It falls right into the same universe as the Red Goblin comic book that I had. I remember talking about that, where Norman Osborn injects himself with the Carnage symbiote, and this whole comic is Carnage looking for Norman Osborn. Like, I need Norman Osborn. And he finds him at the end. And it's, like I said, the last image is like, holy shit. This is nuts. It's like 6 issues long. I think issue number 2 just came out within the week. I will be getting it. That kind of wraps up the tie-in to the Venom universe movie and whatnot. But with the whole Tom Holland not being in the MCU, it just feels like a complete... Missed opportunity, or just a hole that it won't be filled unless you come to another agreement. Now, there's rumors out there that there is an agreement that I don't even know what the actual agreement is, but there's like Marvel, Disney is saying you can use our Tom Holland in Venom. Venom can now be part of the MCU.
Whoa.
So many different things that are out there saying, oh, the renegotiation's happening, and these are what the new details are. I didn't write any of that down because I haven't seen any confirmed information.
It might just be talk.
It is at this point. There is one thing out there though. It's kind of cryptic. There is a picture of Robert Downey Jr. and Tom Holland hanging out together. And this was just they just put it on Instagram within 2 days ago, during all this hoopla. And it is Robert Downey Jr. holding a Spider-Man action figure up to his face, and Tom Holland holding an Iron Man one up to his face. And it's just captioned from Tom Holland, Mr. Stark, we did it. I don't know what that means. I don't know if it's just saying we did it, look what we've accomplished, or we did it, there's a new deal on the table. I haven't the slightest idea about any of that. Like the rest of the world, I'm kind of in a flux of, oh man, I don't want to believe it, and if there's no confirmation of a new deal coming through, I'm really disappointed.
I saw a meme that I thought was funny. It was the scene where Rocket wants the Winter Soldier's arm, and he says, how much for Spider-Man? And Disney says, it's not for sale, and he goes, well, how much for the whole company? So I thought that was actually pretty funny.
There's a lot of memes out there. I know I saw another one. I don't remember what it was. It was someone getting beat down. Someone on the ground getting beat up, and then somebody over top of them clearly beating them up. But where the person was, the aggressor, had a big black box over them with all the Disney owned properties in it, and then the person getting beat up was just right over his face was the logo, the DC logo, and then you see Sony, someone standing in the background with a Sony logo over their face, and then the caption just says, hey Marvel, DC's had enough, move on. And it's just, you're supposed to be like, oh, there's Sony right there. Go beat the shit out of them now. And I just thought it was funny.
They can't take much more.
Right, let them be. They're trying their damnedest. Well, speaking of DC, I didn't even mention I saw Stephen Amell at Boston Comic Con, but I didn't get to meet him, so it really wasn't a big deal. But I did get to see the Green Arrow, which was pretty dope. Other than that, with the Spider-Man news, that's all I got. Thanks for coming. We'll see you guys next week. No, honestly though, what are your guys'? I mean, we kind of shared a little bit of thoughts, but
I don't know. I'm bummed, but he had a good run. I mean, you can't say he.
Well, what do you think though of if he's out, okay, well, that was another part of the quote. Tom Holland did say he's going to continue playing Spider-Man. Again, we don't know what the details are, but
I think that's going to turn off a lot of people, though.
It is.
Because he's not in the MCU.
It absolutely is. It really will, and that's a big, huge problem. Especially because he was so much affiliated with Iron Man.
Yep.
And it's just, you're not going to be able to ignore one without thinking of the other. So, I cut you off a little bit.
I hope they can make a deal. But if not, he had a great run, and I don't know.
Now,
I loved Far From Home.
I know, I did too, and that's what I'm thinking of. Is it's the one movie that it's
you gotta see what happens next.
Not even that, but it's right. You gotta see what happens next, but it's you can't say this movie never happened.
Yeah.
We don't live in an age now. I mean, yes, you can make remakes, you can make reboots, like the Halloween franchise, for instance. I love the Halloween franchise. I've seen every single one of them. There's 10 fucking Halloween movies. I've seen every single one of them. Paul Rudd's first movie was Halloween 5 or 4. Halloween 4, Curse of Michael Myers. So I mean that, it's just whatever. But with those movies, they have the first 7 that are all consecutive, and then there's the reboot with that Rob Zombie did, and then there's Halloween that just came out, which is supposed to be Halloween 2. So they're dismissing all the other ones before that. That's okay. You can do that for movies 20 years ago. People have a slight memory and be like, I don't really remember the last fucking 5 of them. But when it's this fresh and it's this big and it's in the public eye this much, you can't just be like, well, that $1 billion Spider-Man movie, let's just say it didn't happen. Fuck you! It's got one of the coolest villains in it. J. Jonah Jameson's back. Peter Parker's known to the world as Spider-Man now. Like, Happy Hogan doesn't work for Spider-Man. He works with Spider-Man. Like, you had that whole moment where he's making the suit and AC/DC's playing.
As Sony, how can you look at what you did with that character in that MCU and then say, well, fuck that, just because we didn't get the deal we wanted, we're done and we're going to do our own thing? You've got to realize that that's totally going to fuck up the situation that you're in.
Exactly.
It really is.
Because my mindset would be, if I was Sony, if I was Amy Pascal, right? Isn't that the chick's name from Sony? You don't know? I think it is. I would be looking at this as, wow, we just made our first $1 billion movie with the help of these guys. In our second solo Spider-Man movie. He was contractually obligated for 5 5 Spider-Man movies.
Yeah, because I saw somewhere that said that there was
With a 6th as an
more
option if he
something.
wanted. Well, that's what it was.
Yeah.
They wanted to do these first 3 movies as one trilogy of him in high school, and then do another set of trilogies where he's in college.
Whoa.
And I think that would have been awesome.
Yep.
And that was what it was. There was 6 movies altogether with a negotiation of a 7th if Tom Holland wanted to do it. Which, of course, the kid wants to do it. Like, he completely unfollowed Sony on, like, Twitter and Instagram and all that shit.
Mm-hmm.
So you know where his allegiance is.
Yep.
Yep.
But it just... I don't know. It's disappointing. It's upsetting.
That was some hard news to hear, for sure.
It was. When I first saw it, I was like, what?
Yeah, same.
But, like I was saying, if I was Sony and I'm like, man, they just made $1 billion off of our second Spider-Man movie, our second one. And the first one was like an $800 million movie. So it's like, you're not just skimming by. You're fucking gliding through, man. I would be looking at it as, all right, let's just hypothetically say, we'll go with the more evil of the two with the 50-50. Let's just say, all right, Marvel wants 50% of our solo income for our movies. Well, if we just made $1 billion here, we throw Spider-Man in, I don't know, let's just say the next Doctor Strange movie, or however we throw him in there, that's going to keep being like, all right, here's more Spider-Man, can't wait to see him in a solo movie. Now, how much fucking money do you think that next solo movie's going to make?
Yep.
Probably another $1 billion, right?
Easy.
So you're splitting that cost with Marvel, which...
And they're taking all the promotional costs and all that stuff on them, so you're
Right.
not doing any of that.
You're not. You're grossing everything. You're
Yep.
bringing in money. You're not breaking even. You're making money. Like, you just made $1 billion. So to look at that and be like, we can take what they've made and we can run with it on our own. They might. I'm not going to say it's going to be a complete flop. I just know I'm not invested in it as much as I am the route it's going right now.
And that's the same with a lot of people. It
So,
really is.
yeah, it's just, I don't know. We'll see. We'll see where it goes, I guess. Not really sure. But on that note, there's, like I said, there's D23 going on this weekend. Where are we at? 40 minutes? Perfect. The D23 is happening this weekend. Before we get right into that, because that's pretty much the meat of the rest of this show, in other news, as I have written right here, other news, there is the newest Star Wars show coming out. Have either one of you seen the trailer?
I didn't get a chance to
haven't.
check the trailer yet.
No.
The fuck? The Mandalorian. Let me tell you. The trailer looks badass. Badass. Carl Weathers is in it,
Oh, sweet.
right?
Yeah.
Gus
Gus Fring.
Fring is an Imperial
Whoa.
fucking, like, lieutenant guy.
Ooh.
He's everywhere, dude.
Yeah.
He was in The Boys.
No way. He's so bad.
He's this, like, big billionaire, like, Lex Luthor-esque character. That's all I'll say.
Man.
It's just this guy's everywhere right now. But Gus Fring is in the goddamn thing.
It's gold then.
It is gold,
It's
man.
gold.
Those are the only 2 actors I know of.
And John Favreau.
He's not in it.
He's directing
But Jon
it.
Favreau is directing it. This is true. He is like Disney's love child.
Yep.
I mean, he's just awesome.
He is.
Jon Favreau.
He's the best.
But The Mandalorian, it's all about a bounty hunter. For anybody that's huge into Star Wars, there's a million different bounty hunters. This legitimately looks like Boba Fett. I mean, he's that same helmet, just pew, pew, it just looks awesome. I don't know what time place this is. I don't know if it's present Star Wars, past Star Wars, prequel Star Wars. I'm going to go with the original trilogy, though, because you know the robot bounty hunter?
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about? That's
Yeah.
the weird, like, just stick figure looking one?
Mm-hmm.
That motherfucker's all throughout this trailer.
Whoa.
I'm not saying it's the same one, but come on, he's just built like this. Looks pretty awesome. I am so on board with this show. November...
Any boss in it?
No. Not at the moment. It looks awesome, though. I mean, it looks like it's... I don't think Rogue One is the best Star Wars movie ever. I don't. I think it's pretty much right up there, probably my top 5.
Oh, you love it.
Because it's just the war aspect of it.
Yep.
This show feels like that. Feels just like that. The trailer felt exactly like that. I'm excited for it. And more Star Wars news. We'll just kind of stay on that. Obi-Wan Kenobi. I know you are all about it. Because Mr. Ewan McGregor's coming back.
Yeah.
As Obi-Wan Kenobi in... And I have little, like, things next to these. Where it says, like, The Mandalorian. Thumbs up. Obi-Wan Kenobi. With Ewan McGregor, there's a yes with a big exclamation point or mark.
Confirmed.
Confirmed. It's like a legitimate.
Confirmed.
Which brings me to, I love that because I really like Solo. I thought Solo was a good Star Wars
Yeah, I like
movie.
Solo.
I don't think there'll be a sequel to it, which is upsetting. This could be the sequel to it, in a way. Because Darth Maul, that's basically what I wanted to see more out of Solo, was Darth Maul's
Yep.
run. And I know that Darth Maul gets killed by an older Obi-Wan Kenobi on Tatooine. So maybe that'll fall into the show, and then we'll kind of get what happens in between there. Maybe we'll see Solo in there.
Yeah.
I don't know. But I'm
Maybe.
very hopeful for that because I love it. Now, the second one on my list is Joker. The movie Joker has officially been rated R. I have a meh next to that because I don't really know. I'm going into this movie optimistic that it's just going to be a really good, like, gangster movie with a comic book twist to it. But I'm also going into this movie thinking, man, this is a make or break thing right here. Are you only making it rated R to, like, appease the fans, or are you making it rated R because it needs to be?
Right.
Does
Like
this
Sir Logan.
right? Does the story call for it to be rated R, or are you just making it rated R to be like, oh, that's rated R?
And that's not really something you can get out of the trailer.
No,
either.
it's not.
Yeah.
I can tell it's going to be fucked up, but that could still be PG-13 or 14, whatever the rating is there. But I'm going into, like, Venom. Venom could have easily have been rated R. For the simple fact of he eats people. That's a rated R
Yeah.
aspect. Like, at the
Yeah.
end of the movie, he bites that fucking guy's head off. Now, if you made that rated R, you could have made it more graphic. Now, you're not making it rated R because there's tits and there's swearing in it. It's because of the nature of the character. Which, they didn't make it rated R. They made it PG-13 or whatever. It still worked. It was
Yeah,
still a
it
really
did.
fun movie. I
Yep.
still enjoyed that. So, that's my skepticism with a rated R Joker is, are you just making it rated R because there's going to be a strip club scene, or there's just going to be fuck yous, or is the Joker really going to be
Killing motherfuckers.
right? Is he going to be a rated R character? And if that's the case, I'm all for it, because the character should be rated R, because he is menacing and maniacal and disturbing and sick.
Yeah.
So there's that. I didn't see the trailer for it, but Disney Plus, it's going to be on Disney Plus, Lady and the Tramp,
Oh yeah.
live action.
Yep,
I did
saw
see
that.
a picture of it, and I guess the dog, that's the tramp, which I never understood, because I'd always, like, this is going to
Can
make
they
me...
say tramp?
Yeah. This day and age, I really was surprised they got away with it.
Yeah.
But when I was a kid, I always used to think, because growing up in the 90s, you heard such horrible things, bad swear words, but it was just the world at that point, right?
Yeah.
Tramp to me was, and I know this is going to sound horrible, but tramp to me was always referred to as a woman, right?
Yeah.
That's just the way it is,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
I'm not saying women are tramps, but when you say tramp, you instantly think, what'd she do now? So when I was a kid, I always used to refer that to like Lady and the Tramp, and I used to think, well, aren't they one and the same? Isn't the lady a tramp?
Yep.
I didn't realize like the male dog was the tramp. You know, I guess whatever.
Oh, yeah.
I guess the male dog in it, I don't even know what their names are. We'll just go with Tramp. Tramp. The dog that they got was a rescue dog from like a shelter. Now that doesn't really matter at all. But I'm a dog person, and I think it's kind of cool that a dog that was in a shelter that was just going to be put down
Yeah.
was adopted for this movie, and probably is going to be put down after the movie's over. I mean,
Oh, God.
I know it's horrible.
We're not
but-
going to do another one, so
no, we don't do 2 ladies and 2 tramps. We'll just euthanize him. Put him down. I have a meh next to that because if it's not being put in theaters, then really,
How are they gonna do the spaghetti thing?
I don't even care.
Cinema special effects.
I don't even know.
Oh,
I don't
man.
even know. That's the only scene of that movie I even know.
Yeah, me too. Same.
What is a dirty dog fall in love with a ritzy dog? Is that what it is?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Really?
yeah. Pretty much.
I'll just watch Oliver and Company.
Dirty dog.
You guys know that movie, right?
Yeah.
Oliver and
Oh, yeah.
Company. That's all about a bunch of dirty dogs and a
Yup.
kid. I'd rather stick with that one. I'll watch Oliver and Company.
And that had a better soundtrack.
It had a way better soundtrack. And another good dog movie, All Dogs Go to Heaven.
Hell yeah.
Hell,
I didn't know
yeah.
until I bought it that Charlie in it, the main dog, was voiced by fucking Burt Reynolds.
Yeah.
I never,
Yup.
as a kid, you don't know
And
that.
Dom
Dom
DeLuise.
DeLuise.
Dom
Yeah.
DeLuise is the other. I can't.
The
That
wiener
movie
dog.
still holds up.
I
It
bought
really
them for my
does.
daughter. There's 2 of them. I haven't watched the
Right.
second one, but the first one is amazing.
First one.
First one's amazing, and that's a good dog movie. I think Paramount did that one. I don't know who did it, but it's a good one. Brings me to my next meh. I know you'll get excited for it because you're a Disney guy, especially when it's a Disney original, like we mentioned earlier.
Oh,
HE double hockey sticks. Check
Disney
it out.
Originals.
They're bringing back Lizzie McGuire.
Get out of frickin' town.
I swear to the holy man upstairs, brother. Lizzie McGuire is returning
Oh
for
my
a Disney
God.
Plus original show.
I didn't hear that.
Yep. Well, not Hillary Duff.
Awesome.
That's who I want to say, not Lizzie McGuire. But Hillary Duff is reprising a role as Lizzie McGuire.
Wow.
Isn't that just like a nod to fans all
That's
over the
kinda
world?
sweet.
I knew you'd like that because you do like those.
I do.
And
I'm
I
a sucker for
I
it.
watched the show all the time too because it was right around the same time like Even Stevens was a hot deal.
Mhm.
And if you didn't watch Even Stevens,
Oh man, you're
holy
missing out.
fuck, you're missing out, man. You
You're
are
missing
that
out.
Ren.
Yeah, that rat.
Woo!
Yeah.
I loved that show. I could watch. I want
was
to
the
find
best
that.
show.
It was the absolute
The
best.
movie was okay.
When they went to Hawaii.
Yeah.
Yeah. It took me out of it when he's sitting on the throne and the whole house falls in.
Yeah.
I'm like, wow, that was CGI beyond belief. But the mother, the father, the
Oh.
brother,
Yep.
Twitty,
Twitty.
what the hell was it?
Tawny.
Tawny? I think that was her name. Just a
Beans.
Beans? Come on, Beans before he
Beans.
grew out of being cute. Like,
You got your suitcase full of bacon beans?
right,
No?
that's all he ate was bacon.
Bacon.
Do you remember the episode where Lewis like stayed inside of a glass box because he wanted to win like a mattress or something like that? It was one of those challenges. If you can withstand staying in this
I'm sure he did.
glass display for a full 24 hours without losing your shit and leaving.
Did he leave and Beans won?
No, I don't remember specifically, but I remember him just always sitting in the glass case and like Tawny and Twitty coming up like, "You really gonna do this?" Yeah, I'm gonna do this. Like it just was the best. It was the best.
Oh, he's the man.
So I watched the Lizzie McGuire show. I liked my favorite character was definitely Gordo,
Oh yeah.
the male friend.
Yep.
I just thought he was just really nerdy and cool, and I could connect to him, I guess. But that wasn't one of my favorites. Definitely wasn't one of my favorites.
No.
I can take it by your reactions. You didn't watch.
I have no fucking clue. What
Oh my God! Even Stevens, people, send Deadly Dave
90s
hate mail
Disney.
on
shows.
Even Stevens. You need to check Even Stevens out.
Yeah,
I'm
man.
sure it holds
It
up
does.
today.
I'm sure it does.
I bet it holds up, except for the movie.
Yeah. The
I
movie-
bet it holds up amazingly today.
The
People think nowadays Shia LaBeouf is kind of crazy.
yeah.
Go back and watch even Stevens. It's always been there.
Yeah, it's always. Yeah.
That crazy, out of this world mindset he has always been there because of Lewis. Just a
and he's got a new movie coming out
with a handicap guy.
Falcon.
With a handicap guy, in it, right? I would love to see that movie.
And they're like, and he's getting interviewed, and they're like, "Is there any talk of maybe an Even Stevens reunion?"
Really?
And he's like, "Oh no,
Really?
no, I don't know if we're gonna do that."
Is he completely like detached from that?
I think he's like kind of put that in his past
Because he wants to be more serious.
Yeah.
Well, you
But it's
should
like,
never have
dude.
done Transformers. Let me tell you, because that second fucking movie was trash.
I bet they'd all be on board though. All the Even Stevens.
Oh, I bet all. Well, yeah, it's Disney company, and you got Ren in like a movie showing her titties.
True.
Which, oh my god. I didn't think she needed breast implants. I thought just her being
she
small
was
chested
fine.
was sexy. But she's still sexier.
She's sexy.
So we'll get off of the Lizzie McGuire because we didn't even we went
Thanks
right
for
into
telling. I didn't know that.
Yeah, I knew you'd get it. And she did an interview about it like a day ago, so check that out.
Okay.
Somewhere, I don't know where the
Awesome.
fuck it is.
Yeah.
There is a new G.I. Joe movie coming out.
Oh, cool.
I don't think it has anything to do with the first two because it's just strictly Snake Eyes. It's not. Why can't I think of his name right now? The guy that played Darth Maul was the guy that played Snake Eyes in both G.I. Joe
Ray
movies.
Parker?
Ray Parker, there we go.
Or Park.
Yeah, it's Park.
Park, it was. I was like, wait a minute. It's not him playing Snake Eyes. They just revealed the Asian man that's going to be Storm Shadow. I don't know either one of these guys. I got an okay with a question mark next to it. Like,
Is this like a Disney thing or?
no, these are just. I mean, first few were Disney. I should have put them under the D23 weekend, but I didn't.
Who even owns G.I. Joe? Hasbro or whatever.
Cobra Commander.
I think it was Paramount that did the movie.
I think it was too. I think it
Okay.
was too. I'm on board. I like G.I. Joe, and if, like I said, I don't know if it has anything to do with the first two. I liked the first one; it was okay. Second one I thought was actually really good. I really enjoyed it. It was
You
more.
let me borrow that.
It was more accurate to those characters that they were actually trying to
it definitely
portray.
was.
I mean, I liked in the first one how Cobra Commander was always under your nose the whole time, but me being a G.I. Joe fan, I always thought it was Professor Mindbender. Like, I thought, when they revealed, alright, I guess I gotta say it, they show you the Destro character,
Yep.
but I thought he was Cobra Commander, right? And then he's got a scientist that's always with him that's making the Cobra enhanced bad guys with the black Joseph Gordon-Levitt's character.
Yeah.
I always assumed that doctor was Professor, what did I say his name was? I can't. Mindbender, who was Cobra Commander's scientist. Come to find out at the end of the movie that, oh, no, that scientist is actually Cobra Commander. And he's been under the disguise the whole time. And the guy that you thought was Cobra Commander was actually Destro. So when you go back and I can't get my shit together. When you go back and you rewatch that movie, if you ever do, they show you the scene where Joseph Gordon-Levitt's character is a military soldier. He goes into this building to save these people, and there is a scientist there. That scientist is credited in the credits as Professor Mindbender. So I was like, oh, okay, you just threw away that character just to have him be, like, part this big. And then you had me think it was this guy the whole movie. And I didn't like that, because you don't need to be swerved in G.I. Joe.
Yeah.
Unless it's Zartan
Right.
pretending to be somebody. Other than that, you don't need the swerves. Just let it be what it is. That's why I love G.I. Joe 2. So I don't know if it'll be part of it. I kind of hope it is, but I doubt it. I just want it to be action. Badass action. Like a lot of people in G.I. Joe 2 hated the fight scene with all the ninjas on the rock wall. I was like, are you kidding me? That shit's sick.
That's awesome, yeah.
They're all fucking on their own zip lines and they're...
Yeah, cutting.
It's awesome. You have like 3 different ninja groups there fighting each other, and there's like a dead body getting flailed around. Like, I loved it. Another thing you're excited about, Matrix 4.
Oh, Matrix 4. Yes.
What are your thoughts? You go into that.
Oh, I love the Matrix movies.
Go right into it. What do you...
I don't know how they're gonna do
Right.
4.
Right. Knowing Neo and Trinity both died at the end of 3.
Because it's like,
And those are the two people that they've confirmed to come back.
Yeah.
Are whatever her name is.
Because the last time you see Neo, he's getting like lifted off they're on like a ship or something, and he like loses. He wins the fight, but he like kills himself.
Right. He's dead.
And he's dead in the not in the Matrix, whatever.
Yep.
So I don't know.
I'm not a big fan of the Matrix movies. Honestly, the only reason I got into them was because of you. Because we talk about them all the time.
Because I would talk about them all the time.
Yes, you would. So I went out and I bought all 3 of them. I liked the first one. The second one's got a lot of cool moments in it.
Yeah.
But they're just like, what the fuck are these Wachowski things thinking? And I say it like that, the Wachowski things, because now they're women and they were men. I'm not going to assume what you are. You're just
brothers
a thing.
became sisters.
Right, and only one of them's coming back
Oh,
to direct.
man.
I don't know which one, but one of the Wachowski sisters. And
I thought it said Laura Wachowski or something.
I don't. Was that Logan
I've,
before
I've,
that?
only, I've only liked the first one. I don't like the
I think the third one is so convoluted.
It's so...
And so much shit going on that it's like, I don't know if what I'm watching is even real or if they're just portraying, like, this could all just be a figment of someone's imagination at this point. It's so out there.
The final battle in Zion,
I don't like it.
It didn't have to happen.
It was, everything looked the same.
Yeah.
Machine on machine.
It was like, oh, we're going to put mechs in here and we'll get
Right.
a guy in a mech suit.
Now we're fighting these big, like, dragon neck, mechanical, organic, but not. I don't know. I'm probably wrong on that part. I'm thinking of Metal Gear
The
Solid.
cool
I
part
guess.
was the fight, though, with, at the end, it's like Dragon Ball Z, because they're punching each other.
I loved all that. Like,
and the rain is, like, stopping, and then...
and right, it's
That
pretty
was
badass. Oh, that was another thing. You know, people are saying, like, well, what are they going to do for a 4th movie, you know, because those 2 are dead, and Lawrence Fishburne's not really sure if he's coming back for it.
What about Hugo Weaving?
That's
You
the
mentioned
thing.
that.
Like, why would you bring him back, though? Just so you can recreate the same stories? It's like, yeah, you need a whole nother fucking...
You need a whole new story.
You need a whole new story. And then on this note, from what I remember of The Matrix, is there are multiple versions of these characters in different, I don't know if they say universes, but they do say there are multiple Neos out there. There are multiple whatevers out there. So are they going to go with, is this the same Neo we saw? Or is this like another Neo in another Matrix fighting another set of twins for Matrix 2?
Because I remember that at the end, the Oracle's like, there's always a Neo.
Right.
And there's always a one, and I'm like, so is this like a freaking loop? Like,
Right.
continuous loop? Like, it's going to happen again?
It seems kind of futile at that point if it keeps going.
If it keeps happening,
That's
what
the way
are
I
you fighting
took
at
it.
this point? Just accept reality as you know it.
Yeah.
That's the way I took it as.
So I'm kind of interested to see it because I've seen the first 3. I got an investment in them.
Yeah.
I love fucking Keanu Reeves. I mean, this was clearly, this needed to happen because it's like the year of Keanu
With
Reeves
John Wick and all
Yeah.
that.
and everything, which it's funny actually because I will show it. I bought this for my daughter yesterday.
Oh, yes.
Duke Kaboom
Yep.
and Forky. She now has every single Toy Story 4 character. But that's Keanu Reeves.
Yeah.
He plays the voice of Duke Kaboom. So, I mean, he's not only just in John Wick, where it's adult-oriented. He is in a kids' movie.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I
He's all
mean?
about
Like,
the kids, the fans.
he is just a genuine guy.
He's a really
There's
stand-up
a
guy.
video of him sitting on a subway train, and, like, this old woman is standing there, and he just stands right the fuck up and gives her his seat.
Wow.
It's like, hey, Keanu Reeves, thanks, guy. Thanks.
Best.
Coming up on an hour, alright. Yeah, I'm not gonna read all of it. But the last thing on the other news, I have a shirt next to Matrix 4, by the way. Like, yeah,
Sure.
a shirt. Like,
Okay.
sure, I'll see it.
Yeah.
Mark, what?
Are we finally there?
Mark, what trailer just dropped like 12 hours ago?
Oh, God. Oh, El Camino.
El Camino. Can you please? I want you to explain what this is, what it ties into,
Oh, man.
and why you need to watch the show? It's all you.
El Camino is gonna be a Breaking Bad movie.
That's exactly what it's called, El Camino, a Breaking Bad movie.
I think it's gonna pick right up where the show ended.
Yep. No spoilers. We won't give a spoiler of how the show ends.
No. I'm super excited. Like, holy shit.
I am almost more excited for this movie than almost anything else that we've talked about.
And it's soon. It's like
November.
November.
A Netflix movie of Breaking Bad. And for anybody that's watching this, anybody that's a Breaking Bad fan, tell them who's in the trailer. Like the main person that's in the trailer.
Oh my god. Skinny fucking Pete.
Skinny fucking Pete. It's awesome, right?
Yeah.
Skinny fucking
it's like
Pete.
They could have got anybody.
You could have got anybody, but you went and got skinny fucking Pete.
He's still skinny.
You know what would have been awesome? If Badger was sitting right next to him.
Oh, yeah.
Wouldn't that have been sick?
Why not?
That would have been just great. That would have been great.
He would have stole the show, though. Badger.
No way. They both were equals, in my opinion.
He just talked more. Well, maybe not.
I love him. I love him.
I
can't wait for this Breaking Bad movie. It's my favorite TV show.
So good.
I've seen all 6 seasons like 5 times a piece. I love it. I love Breaking Bad. You and I have talked about it for hours before. Hours.
I've seen the whole series twice.
Yeah?
And I'm ready for to start it again.
Well,
For a
watch out for this El Camino because it is the danger.
God.
I'm so excited for this. And right next to it I have Fuck Yes! Because it's the one I'm anticipating. Skinny Pete!
Yeah.
Or how Markadius said it, Skinny fucking Pete.
Skinny fucking Pete.
It's going to be awesome. I'd recommend it. Everybody watch Breaking Bad so you can watch this fucking movie because it's going to be... You know, I thought Endgame was like the biggest movie, and it is. It's the biggest movie that came out this year. But hype, I'm not going to say that.
Man.
I'm not going to say that. But excited wise, I'm equally as excited for this movie as I was for Endgame.
And that's saying a lot.
Yeah.
Like, I love...
You're so invested in that series.
In
that
Breaking
franchise.
Bad?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I got, in my Lego City over here, I got a Walter White and a Jesse Pinkman selling meth behind one of the buildings. I love Breaking Bad.
So good.
I love Breaking Bad. I wanted the movie. I don't like the name.
Yeah, I mean...
It just feels like El Camino, a Breaking Bad movie. It's like, really? Like, that's what you're going to call it? I still think it should, because it's all about who we know it's about.
Oh, yeah.
I still think it should have been called Badly Broken, a Breaking Bad movie.
Oh.
Because that's what he is.
Yeah.
Like,
He's a broken man.
right. Walter White was Breaking Bad. Like, he was coming out of being a good guy in Breaking Bad.
Yep.
Where this character is just, after all those seasons, he is literally just badly broken.
Yep.
And I just think that would have been a clever name for it. Other than that, that's really, really what it is for other news. These next ones we can skim through real fast. I did write a lot of shit down, but that's just nonsense. Okay, so D23 weekend is this weekend. It might be a whole week. I'm not really sure how it works. But all of what we're going to talk about in D23 right now are the Marvel shows. Because they've announced 3
more.
new Marvel shows. But first and foremost, Falcon and Winter Soldier is bringing back Sharon Carter. Emily Van Camp, I think is her name.
Really?
Yep. She's going to be brought back, which I wasn't surprised. It just seemed like a world that she would still be in is theirs. And they're introducing, which I knew, I said it right from the fucking beginning, and I still think John Cena should play him, is John Walker. John Walker is the next guy that gets the Super Soldier Serum. He becomes the next Captain America, not Falcon or Winter Soldier. But John Walker becomes victim to what the Super Soldier Serum is doing to his brain. And it is altering his mind and making him corrupt. So that, I'm already going to say it right now, John Walker, they're going to portray him as your hero, but he is 100% going to be a villain by the end of this series. And then that's when Falcon and Winter Soldier are going to probably one of the two. Falcon most likely is going to be Captain America. I still think John Cena should play John Walker because I think he'd nail it. I really do think he would nail that military.
Oh yeah.
Good for the greater good, but there's something off about him. And I'd like that. I honestly would like that. WandaVision. Here we go. This is where the fun really happens.
I always think of Wonka Vision.
It is. It's Wonka Vision. It's Wonka Vision. You have to put on your glasses.
I mean, they use pure imagination in Thor Ragnarok.
They do,
so,
which is a fun little tie-in right here. WandaVision, it's getting a director from There's a lot of Game of Thrones things that are going to come full speed right here, right now.
Oh yeah.
One of the Game of Thrones directors, Matt Shakeman, let's go with that, is going to be the director of it. Each of these like Disney Plus shows is going to be like 8 episodes long, but each one of them is like an hour a piece, like a traditional basically show.
Like a
Nothing
Netflix.
new. So, but from what the people from WandaVision are saying, it's an 8-hour movie.
Damn.
Which that's how I'm expecting all of them to
Yeah.
to honestly play out to be, but just episodically doing it. So it's not really like the WandaVision one I have to see. Like I'm gonna see them all. But it will feature characters from both the Thor universe and the Ant-Man universe. And right now, the two characters that they are talking about, which don't go crazy because they're not people like, I have to see the Wanda one. It's Darcy from Thor, Kat Dennings,
No way.
big-breasted Kat Dennings.
Yeah, 2 broke girls.
2 broke bitches. I like the blonde one more.
Yeah.
And I should have wrote his name down, but I didn't. The FBI agent that was in Ant-Man 2, the Chinese guy.
Oh yeah.
Whatever his name.
He was in like the interview.
Right, he was in Aquaman.
Yep.
That guy.
Okay.
He's going to be in it. I mean, that's
Cool.
just cool that you're openly saying, there's going to be Thor characters, and there'll be, probably Ant-Man characters. Like, in the WandaVision show, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Does Darcy and the FBI agent, who lives in San Francisco, by the way, have to do with WandaVision? It just leaves me like, oh, boy, this is going to be a good
I
one.
wondered if she'd ever like come back.
Yeah, they just kind of wrote her off. I mean,
Yeah.
they didn't really need to bring her back.
No.
But it's cool that she still will exist.
Yeah.
And she'll be some of the comedic relief.
Yep.
Um, Black Panther 2 has officially got a release date of May 6th, 2022. Which, capitalize on your market, go for broke, go back in February. Black History Month, man.
Yeah.
Keep that as your ongoing fucking reel. I don't care if it gets bad publicity or not. That's your demographic. I'm saying it right now. I mean, I love the goddamn movie. I thought it was
Hell yeah.
brilliant. But they played up to when it was supposed to be played up. So it'll be interesting to see that coming out into a May release. Now, there are 3... At this moment, I wrote... Kit Harington, who was Jon Snow in Game of Thrones. How many seasons did you make it through of that?
I think I'm 4.
You didn't get very far then. You pretty much stop after like 3 seasons of any show. Mark, you finished it.
I did.
I know you finished it.
I did.
We basically watched it all together the last season, like minus like the last 2 episodes or so. I think it's amazing he is casted in the MCU. At the time of me writing this, it was not decided who he was playing yet,
Correct.
but now it has been revealed.
Yeah.
Have you seen it?
No.
The Black Knight.
Really?
Yes, I'm ecstatic for
Holy
that.
cow.
I know quite a bit about the Black Knight. I didn't write it all down because I got it up here.
Wow.
He is the 3rd incarnation of the Black Knight. There was Lord Percy of Scandinavia or something like that. I don't remember what the second one's name was, something Garrett. And the second Black Knight was a villain. Turned out to be a villain because he wasn't worthy of pulling the stone or the sword from the stone. Not that sword and stone, but based off of the idea.
Okay.
He wasn't worthy of it, so he creates his own sword. He creates a mechanical horse that can fly, and he becomes a villain known as the Black Knight. Now, that Black Knight version gets into all sorts of fights with the Avengers. in Fantastic Four, X-Men, throughout his run in the comics. That Black Knight gets badly like defeated by Iron Man himself to where he's on his deathbed. Before that Black Knight dies, he goes home, essentially, kind of sum that up, and he's talking to his nephew, and he's telling him, I was bad, I should never, Black Knight is supposed to be honorable, I'm dying, you need to go honor our name again. That introduces the third Black Knight, which is Dane Whitman, which that's the one Jon Snow. I'm always going to call him Jon Snow.
Yeah.
That's the one Jon Snow is going to be playing. I am super stoked for that because I just think you're introducing a knight in modern days.
Yeah.
Like he's you know how in Lego 2
Hell yeah.
they have medieval
That's where I know him from.
That's
really.
that Black Knight. This is not that Black Knight. This is the Black Knight that exists in our time.
Okay.
He is not a he is a medieval knight. He looks like one. But he doesn't live in like 16th century, whatever the fuck it would be, London, England. I'm sure they'll do stuff with it. I have no idea. As of right now, he is in the Eternals movie.
Yeah, how does that work?
Like this. Gemma Chan, who was, I know you're going to remember the name and I'm not. You remember the Kree Warriors from Captain Marvel?
Yeah.
The woman?
Minerva?
Yep. I never can remember her name, and I know you could. When I was writing it down, I'm like, I'm not even going to remember her name, but I know Mark will. Like, I just knew that. She was in Captain Marvel, but she's also going to be in Eternals. Not reprising the same role as Minerva. Just gonna be, so it's like, all right, you guys are starting to now just cast the same people here and there, whatever.
Anyway.
But if she looks completely different, acts completely different, sounds different, then that's fine. This is the Game of Thrones thing that I think is just cool. She is in the movie Eternals playing a character called Cersei.
Get out of here.
Right? Jon Snow, Game of Thrones, is in this show, or in this movie, right? His love interest is Cersei.
Oh, God.
Isn't that just kind of weird how that's kind of playing out after Game of Thrones?
Game of Thrones fans.
Big time.
Watch
Because, not only in this... You saw it?
Yeah, his brother.
His fucking brother. Well, his cousin.
Rob. Oh, yeah.
Well, brother. We'll just say it like that. Rob is going to be playing Druig, who is... I don't really know. I'm not going to pretend. I don't know.
But that's sick.
Isn't that just kind of weird? You got Jon Snow, his like brothers in the show, and then his love interest is Cersei.
I love it.
Like, it's just weird. There's a whole lot they could do with it. There's a whole lot they could do with it. I'm super excited for this now, like more than ever. Which, that's pretty much it for the movie aspect, but here we go with the big deals, and that's how I have them written down. There is no casting or release dates for any of these. I'm not going to read all this, but Ms. Marvel is coming. You thought it was the sexy... bikini-styled Ms. Marvel. It's not. That's Carol Danvers.
Okay.
This Ms. Marvel is Kamala Khan. She is the first Muslim character to ever headline a Marvel comic book. And her first appearance was in Captain Marvel, number 14, August of 2013. So there you go. That's why she's not... That just kind of helps you correlate the two.
Okay.
Her powers are just basically shape-shifting and healing. I don't really know a whole lot about her because she is way too new. The newest comic books I have are Secret Empire, the Venom that's been released, and the Absolute Carnage. I don't really know a lot of modern day characters.
What I know her from is the game.
Is the game, exactly, is the game. And they made a cool Lego of her though.
Oh, did they?
Where her
She's
arms are super long, they're not normal Lego arms, and you can like stretch them back and forth.
Cool.
So when they do the Fantastic Four, you clearly know that's what they're going to do with Mr. Fantastic.
Oh, yeah.
But then again, when I was writing it, the shape-shifting and stuff, that's your introduction to when they do the Fantastic Four and Mr. Fantastic. Because she essentially does the same things Mr. Fantastic can do. Because like in the game, if you jump off a building, you can hold down whatever button and she'll flatten out like a pancake and glide.
Yeah.
Or she'll turn into a ball or something. There is the one you were excited for, She-Hulk, coming out, which is
Yeah.
Jennifer Walters, which is Bruce Banner's cousin.
Mm-hmm.
She is in a horrible accident, which needs to have a blood transfusion, which they do that with Bruce Banner. She gets... Oh, Hulk mad!
She gets hulked.
She does. She gets hulked out. She grows big, gets strong just like him, but
She can't go back. Can
yes, she can.
She can?
She can revert back, but in
Oh.
later issues of her comic run, her transformation becomes permanent.
Yeah.
I just think it's cool. She's a lawyer, and like that could have been a cool way to introduce Matt Murdock some way somehow into that. Just have them in a courtroom fighting each other or something, like not literally fighting, but
But yeah, banter.
yeah, trying to fight some case. Bruce Banner's going to be in it because they're not going to do solo Hulk movies there's nowhere in these next MCU movies for a Hulk to be in it. So this is like the one place where and that seems to be what they're doing with all these Disney Plus shows, is taking the original Avengers and being like, all right, you guys kind of had your run in the movies. Let's do you on shows, and when we need you back in the movies, you're still relevant to come back and do movies. We just now don't have to do $1 million+ movie with you in it. Essentially, you can introduce a new wave of superheroes in the movies while keeping the mainstream ones alive on your Disney Plus. So having Bruce Banner, who's like one of the only original Avengers left that's not in one of these shows, makes a good place to be in this.
Totally.
And if
a team up would be fun.
a team up would be real. Imagine a bunch of Hulks, the Hulk Smash group and shit, all of them coming together.
Yeah.
Wouldn't that be pretty badass?
Yeah.
But my favorite is Moon Knight. I am so excited for Moon Knight. He's got like 6 different I have to read what he really pretty much is. He is a former mercenary who's killed and eaten. Now this is just really skimming it. You guys should really look into him. He's pretty badass. His first appearance was Werewolf by Midnight, number 32, August 75. He is a former mercenary who's killed in Egypt. He's not killed in Egypt, but he's left for dead in Egypt by the mercenary group he's working with. It's just kind of a whole sham. These Egyptian monks, or whatever you want to call them, find his body, bring it back to a temple where they worship all their gods. There is the moon god, I can never remember it. Maybe I don't have it written down. It's a weird name. Shonshusk? I don't remember what it is, but I thought I had it written here. Oh, Khonshu. That's what it is. Khonshu, Khonshu, which is the god of the moon. So they bring him to that god. The statue pretty much gives him new life, but the only thing is, not really it gives him life. He is a vessel. The body of Mark Spector, who is Moon Knight, is an avatar essentially for that Khonshu Egyptian god. And the only thing is, if we bring you back to life, and if this is what you want, you have to not fight crime. They don't come right out and say it like that because that's very cheesy, but you have to do the greater good. He ends up taking the look of the god. That's why he's all white. That's why he's the Moon Knight. Yeah. And becoming that character. He goes back to New York, back to where he's from, and he basically becomes Batman. He creates an alter ego called Stephen Grant, who is a billionaire. That's one of his egos that, like, well, I couldn't be doing this because I'm this guy. But I'm also Mark Spector, like a mercenary. I'm also Moon Knight. I'm also Jake Locke, who is a cab driver. Just a simple cab driver so he can be on the streets without being on the streets. And I can hear what's going on and get the rundown of everything. This all works out in like his first issues of comics, and then as more writers get onto it, they start playing into the idea of, well, what if all these personalities, he became schizophrenic? And he's a schizophrenic superhero that is battling himself. He's bad at times, but he's essentially good. So he literally is Batman. Like, he's got moonerangs. He's got a bunch of different shit. Like, he's a detective. He's got the same fighting skills as Batman. Like, he's a mixed martial artist. this, and that. I can't wait for this kind of show because I feel like this is going to be the one that people are like, whoa, I wasn't ready for that.
Is it going to be like a darker?
I hope so. I hope it is dark and gritty, because me thinking Ms. Marvel and She-Hulk, I'm thinking like really obnoxious in your face, not over the top, but you know what I'm saying, especially Ms. Marvel. Like, so this one I think is going to counteract both of them and be like, whoa, we need to pump the brakes and just set back a little bit. I'm excited as all hell
kind of
for
have
it.
like a Gotham look to it, maybe, or something.
Right,
like
show the city like in a different aspect. Like, instead of it being like, oh, the MCU is this big, beautiful landscape with all these horrible things happen, show it from like a Netflix point of view. Like, that's what I'm hoping this is built like, is like the Daredevil style universe. Gritty. Where it's gritty, this, and that. I mean, IGN, I mean, not that this is really matters, but IGN has him listed currently as number 49 in their top 50 Avengers list of who are the top 50 greatest Avengers. He's been with everybody. He has been in every group you could have possibly imagine in the MCU. I'm just very excited for this one, without a doubt. Very, very excited.
I knew you would be too. I'm like, oh.
That's one of the ones I've been waiting for. Just because it's not that happy-go-lucky, tongue-in-cheek, smiling character that Robert Downey Jr.'s played. Yeah, he's had a dark past in Iron Man 2, being an alcoholic. You know, even Captain America, who's like goody two-shoes America, has had a darker past. Mm-hmm. But this guy, he is just a dark past. Like, there's no glimmering hope with him. It's just Batman. I don't know how else to say it. It's Batman, but not. I'm super, super excited for that. I'm not hyped. I hate that saying. I'm going on record saying I hate the saying hyped. I'm hyped for this. I'm so hyped. What the fuck happened to saying I'm excited or I'm looking forward to this or this will be cool, I can't wait? Now it's I'm hyped. Just like lit. The fuck does that mean?
That's one of the dumbest fucking...
I see people that are older than me saying lit. It's like, that wasn't a fucking saying when you were a kid. Like, don't... That!
Cringe.
Oh, that's so cringe. What the fuck does that... I get it. But what happened to just saying, God, that's awful. That's bad.
Times.
And they are a-changing. And then I just don't like the slang. Some of it's alright. Like, it's just stupid.
Not for you.
It's not for me. I'm old school. I like to say what I actually fucking want people to think I'm saying. That's
Rad.
That's a good one. That's from the 90s and the 80s. Anything Ninja Turtles, that if they say anything cool like that, that's probably where I fucking get it from. Mm-hmm. Righteous. I do say cowabunga, but that's not really a saying. Like, I don't know. But, I'm super excited, though, for all these Netflix shows and stuff. And they even had a picture of Peggy Carter as the Captain America character, like in the What If. Like, oh, this is the...
Nice.
I was like, that looks pretty cool. I'm actually... It's like Captain America's suit, but you know how she wears, like, the big blue, like, suit jacket kind of thing? It's like that's incorporated into it.
Cool.
So I really like it because it goes over with the buttons, and then, like, she's still got, like... I think it's like a red button-down shirt underneath, like, the Captain America suit with, like, a white tie. I'm like, she's still, like, staying classy.
She's wicked classy.
I like it. I like it a lot. Anything you guys want to... I didn't say... She-Hulk's first appearance was Savage She-Hulk #1, February 1980.
Damn.
So, I mean... With Moon Knight being around since 75, She-Hulk being around since 80, of course these are characters I'm going to know. I mean, I've read them in so many comics. But where, like Ms. Marvel, since 2013, it's only been 6 years she's existed. I don't know anything about her other than what I had to Wikipedia here. I mean, these guys, I pretty much, other than the first appearances, I didn't know them. It's just what I know of these characters. I'm all excited for everything that they do.
It's going to be sweet.
It is.
That Disney Plus comes out November?
Is it?
Yeah, it's like soon.
Well, yeah, the
22nd, maybe?
the first show is Falcon and Winter Soldier, and that comes out in like February or something like that.
Wow.
I guess at D23 they had a trailer for Black Widow.
Ooh.
Sounds sweet. Sounds sweet. There's one part where like they're all in Budapest.
Get out of here.
Swear to God, they show Black Widow, the one we all love and know, ScarJo, sitting at, I think they said it was like at a bar. Now there's no trailer for the public. It was just at D23.
Yeah.
The video was like her sitting at a bar in Budapest or something, and then you see that the chick I said last time, the Yelena.
Minerva person?
Sure, that wasn't it, but yeah, Minerva was the other. That's where you're from.
Yeah, that's why I remember it.
Well, hey there. But whatever her name is, Yelena, what, Belivina? I don't remember what the fuck her name is. She's the second Black Widow, though. They show her walk up to the bar, and ScarJo looks at her, she goes, "You just had to come here, huh?" And then I guess it's just a montage of like crazy fights. You see Black Widow fighting the Taskmaster.
Whoa.
You see Black Widow fighting the new Black Widow. And then you see, I guess, a bunch of women that are essentially Black Widows, like hunting her down.
Whoa.
That's cool.
Again, though, I don't want this to be in between Marvel movies.
Yeah.
Because, like, why the fuck wasn't that ever referred to in anything after these events? You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
but I look forward to that. I mean, other than that, that wraps it up for, I think, our topics today. You guys have anything you want to add? Mark, definitely mention your oh my God, what is it?
Game?
Thing. What the hell am I trying to say? What have you been doing?
Playing?
No, streaming, right?
Oh, yeah.
Do you have like a handle or a name or anything?
No, it's just Jesse James.
Look, tell them. Let them
It's-
know. Like, get on it.
My streams, I haven't done it in a while, but it's Jesse James Iffy, IFY. 1560 Iffy, actually. And I just play games, and just probably gonna upload some more. I don't know.
What have you
We'll
uploaded
see.
right now? What
Just Spyro.
Yeah? Cool.
And some Star Wars Battlefront.
Right on. I
But
know that was something you talked about. Well, you didn't really
I
mention
wanted
it.
to do like a kid thing, like do kids games, but I'm getting into like been playing Bloodborne. That's really freaking nuts.
Yeah.
It's like a Dark Souls.
I know a little. I don't know it, but
And
I've
you
seen.
die a lot and you get really pissed, but I got excited when I found like a potion last night.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, and I'm like, dude, this is like a game changer, and it was a potion. Like it was.
That is. I know what you're trying to say.
'cause
Because it's just
you're like-
not that.
Yeah, you're like it's insane. It's medieval. What am I trying to get at? It's like you're hunting beasts and like.
It kind of makes me think of like Legacy of Kain.
Yeah.
Not the story, but like medieval, demonic, spiritual, weird.
Yes.
Like that's what I thought of when I
It's-
first saw the trailer.
And the
for it.
monsters are crazy looking. Like
Yeah.
wolves that are all like muscle. There's no hair. Like these mangy dogs, and any one of them can just kill you in like 2 hits.
That's like the
So you
bears
have
in
to-
MGS5, dude.
Oh god.
I got swatted by a
Those
bear the
bears.
other day, and it shot my ragdoll body across the screen, and I got pissed. I probably put 15 tranks into that thing's head with my
Dude.
sniper rifle, man. Fuck that bear.
Yeah. So that's what I've been doing.
Yeah, promote it, sell it,
That's what I've been
put
doing.
yourself out there for the world to see it and
I'm
hear it.
getting better at it.
Good.
I'm trying.
Well, Dave, you got anything you want to add, man?
Not really, man. I think you've covered it pretty much everything.
Well, that doesn't mean you can't add to it.
R.I.P. Spidey.
On that fucking sad note. Well, on that sad note, R.I.P. Spidey. This has been the Comic Shop. Definitely hope you found it informative, and if you didn't, I don't really give a fuck. But I just hope you liked it, and all that good stuff. And well, I don't know what the next topic will be. I do know I want to do because we've talked about it before, a horror like movie kind of episode. With October coming up, I would like to do it then, more closely then, which it's not going to be our next episode, but it's definitely going to be horror movie-esque or anything to do with horror.
And we can do that in multiple parts too.
Well, that's why I want to get on it now and have you like talk to Steven and ask him if he's down for it. You're definitely more than welcome to pop in. We can rearrange this. Actually, we could probably put a table out in the living room and do it out there and put the camera somewhere so we can get all four of us and make sure that's there so it can hear us and just kind of do. I mean, essentially we're doing a round table discussion now, but it'll be more of a round when we got someone else there with us. Just horror movies. I really would enjoy that.
That'd be fun.
I think it'd be a lot of fun. So on that note, this has been the Comic Wrestling Podcast, the comic shop, ding, ding, ding. That's you leaving the store and get the fuck out. I don't care where you gotta go.
We gotta get you a bell so you can ring
just
it.
Ring the bell. You can leave here and immediately check us out with the wrestling ring that Deadly Dave is going to talk about, because I know there's quite a bit there. So I am your clerk, Ace Williams, as always. Sometimes not as always. I might be someone different next time. You don't know.
Might be Hulk Hogan.
I might be Hulk Hogan, brothers, dude. Oh yeah, doing Macho Man. I had to do that at Boston Comic Con. I didn't have enough Hogan material, so I had to throw some Macho Man on it.
Did anyone notice?
Everyone was drunk.
I know, yeah.
I drank a
It
lot
happens.
that weekend. This is Deadly Dave. There's Markadius. What are you drinking? Alter Your Brew. That's what he's drinking. So check us out next time on the Comic Wrestling Podcast, and thanks, and try to have a good day.
These guys.